that we have that much competition even at the goalkeeper spot, because that's going to make them better every day in terms of pushing each other. We've had our newcomers have done a great job. I think we have 24 on our roster, 8 newcomers, so a third of our team's brand new. So I think the biggest thing as a coach when that happens is, how quickly are they going to assimilate into the group socially, but then also how quickly they're going to pick up the speed of the game. You heard Ray mention that with some of his freshmen, picking up the speed of the college game is quicker no matter what the sport is. So I would tell you they've done a phenomenal job so far of just getting in stride with the speed of the game. I think our returning players have done a really good job over the summer, especially kind of setting the tone and the expectation for our program. As far as for those new guys, this is how we do things and this is what we don't do. And I think they did a tremendous job with that. So I think the group's really tight, getting along real well, and I think are figuring things out. They've also returners. When you have 8 newcomers, we have 4 coaches, but we can't be there for every single kid every single second. So I think the returners have also done a really good job of helping players, especially in their line of the field, in terms of questions and helping them. So really happy. We had 2 exhibition games. Again, playing the new system and getting used to that. We rotated everybody in and played everybody pretty much in both games to get a look at everyone. Like how we looked offensively and some of the things that were happening. I think it'll be a little bit different Friday in terms of the opposition. I watched video yesterday on Nebraska. They're going to be a little more athletic, a lot more athletic than maybe some of our opponents so far. But I believe we have a pretty athletic team, so I think it'll be a good matchup. Starting off with, talking to the schedule, we start off with 2 Big Ten teams on the road, Nebraska and Minnesota. We played 2 exhibitions, so we have 18 regular season games. 9 of those are against teams that were in the NCAA tournament last year. So our schedule, just like with Ray's, the only way to get ready for the Big 12 is to play tough teams, and I do believe we're doing that this year. One thing I would mention, I think going into the game Friday, looks like we're going to have 3 of our freshmen starting for us. Grace Hagan, who's from Wichita, Parker Roberts from Overland Park, and Anna Courtney, who's from Kansas City, Missouri. The reason I tell you that now and tell you where they're from is I think it's great for us. We're getting the best players from the local area that are available to come to Kansas. And I think in recruiting, if you got kids in your own backyard that are good enough to play for us and make us better, then we want to try to get them. We always go after them, doesn't mean we always get them. But this year I feel like we got the best 3 out of the area that are going to help us continue to keep getting better. Last season, our motto or our slogan, I guess you would say, for the season this year when I met with the team the first time on August 5th was cross the line. And basically what that means is I think everybody probably sitting in this room, other than those 3 back there, would look at our season last year and say that was a huge improvement and a great season for you guys. And it was better than the year before, but we really felt like we let down and didn't achieve what we could have done. We finished 3rd in the Big 12, which was great. Made the NCAA tournament, which was great. But we were in first place in the Big 12 with about 2 weeks to go. We made the NCAA tournament, lost to that other school in black and gold just across the border that most of us don't like too much. So for us, it was really a disappointing season. Our goal this year is to cross the line, meaning we got to finish the race. We started it really well last year, but we didn't finish it. This year, hopefully we'll start well, but we got to finish the race because we did not do that last year. So as a staff and as a team, especially for the returners, that's really going to be the focus for us is what do we need to do each and every day to make sure that that doesn't happen again. The Big 12 this year, a little bit different than volleyball, I think, because I don't think we have a national contender in the Big 12, but we have 6 teams, I believe, that went to the NCAA tournament last year. And from top to bottom, this past year, almost every spot was decided going into the last regular season game. That's how close it is in soccer. Having said that, I think there's probably any one of 6, 7 teams that could win it. And I believe we're one of those 6 or 7. I think that last year we just we had a couple of close games, as they always are, that didn't go our way towards the end, that bumped us down to 3rd. But I think it's going to be very competitive as always. I think everybody in the conference will be better than they were last year. So it's going to be interesting. As always, it's just going to be great competition, and we look forward to that challenge. This year we do get to open up at Rock Chalk Park. Last year we weren't able to do that and got to play 5 games out there, which was awesome. We played the 2 exhibitions out there, and I will tell you, the Frank Masterson, who oversees that facility, and George Barnes, who's in charge of the field maintenance crew, have done an unbelievable job with that place. I mean, the field, you can ask the players when you interview them, but the field this year is unbelievable. We played South Dakota, and I know their coach, he came up to me before the game. He said, I know you said this place was really nice. He goes, but holy cow, it's unbelievable. And that's the reaction of everybody that comes in there. I think 2 things with the facility. Obviously, with the Fritzl family getting that done for us, Dr. Zenger being the one that pushed it for us. I think as a coach being there for so long and not having that facility, it's really funny when you see the recruits. We've had a couple of recruits in town this past weekend, and you bring them to the practice field, which was our old game field, when we're doing the campus tour, and we drive by and we get out. Hey, we got a really nice practice facility here. This has been our game field the last 16 years. Then you drive them to Rock Chalk Park, and you just pull into the parking lot, and their jaw just drops. It's like you're playing in this and you were playing in that. I mean, it really is night and day. So what it really means is 2 things. One, for our players, unbelievable atmosphere and a facility to play in. And 2, the recruit experience. When you bring a kid into a game and the atmosphere there is totally different than playing at 3 o'clock on a Friday. So it's already helped our recruiting. We're excited to see how it's going to help us this year, especially with that team I think that we've got. We're excited about it. Be happy to answer any questions.
What do you think about having such a tough schedule right off the bat?
Ask me Monday, I'll tell you. I think it's good. I mean, to be honest with you, I think early in the season, our 2 games we've played so far, we've gotten to see a little bit offensively what we're capable of. We didn't get tested a ton defensively. We gave up 2 goals on Sunday, so you could play, what are you talking about? But I think the goals we gave up were pretty simple mistakes to correct. So we haven't really been tested defensively. So I think this weekend, especially when we're going to have a new goalkeeper and a new center back than what we had last year, I think it will be really good for us to go through this weekend to see Monday next week, what do we need to work on defensively, because we haven't really gotten tested in that area yet. So from that standpoint, I think it's going to be great. So
how are you planning to settle on your starter in goal? You want to have that done before the regular season starts, or can you let yourself work through that, early in the season? Or?
We have a pretty good idea going into Friday. I mean, and as we've told the goalkeepers, it's not going to be set in stone. I mean, if whoever starts Friday makes one mistake, we're not going to switch the kid out. But I think that whoever it is got to know we have confidence in them. But also they got to know there's 2 other goalkeepers more than capable of taking their spot. So we'll settle on it for sure tomorrow. As a staff, we'll sit down and talk about it, and we'll tell the team who's starting. But I think if you asked our kids, I mean, the keepers have all performed very well so far. So it's a good as I told one of the players in the individual meeting this week, one of the goalkeepers said, she kind of had this look on her face like she was stressing because we have 3 really good goalkeepers. And we said, no, as a coaching staff, this is a good problem. We like these kind of problems. So we'll definitely settle on it by Friday, and it'll really be week to week, I think, to be honest. Yes. I think the new guys have really picked up what we're trying to do very, very quickly. So to be honest with you, I'm surprised that in terms of just how in sync the group is, I'm surprised where we're at after, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So, no. Again, ask me Monday, I'll tell you how I feel then. But
you mentioned you expect a lot more offense with this new system that you're going to be implementing. How much of that is based around the talent of Salazar and what she can do?
Yeah, obviously Lee, obviously had a great season last year, and we expect, obviously, her to have another great season this year. The system that we're playing is going to allow her, like last year's system did, a lot of freedom and opportunity to attack and get into the attack, but from a deeper position. So that was obviously one of the things that we had to look at when you have an offensive player like that. You want to kind of mold it around that player and make sure that she's getting the freedom that she needs to be productive. So, that definitely had a lot to do with it. But also, I think our other personnel, attacking-wise, we felt like Parker Roberts is a very good offensive player. We're able to move Taylor Estrada forward a little bit from where she was playing last year, and I think Taylor can be a threat going forward too. So that kind of had a lot to do with it. It was more personnel, but obviously Liana was one of the big pushes for how we ended up deciding to play.
Coach, you played 2 preseason games and you get big impacts from 2 freshmen in Roberts and Hagan. I know you said that they're 2 of the best in the area, but did you expect this kind of impact this quickly?
Actually, I did. Yeah. I mean, we knew that we were good. Yeah. I mean, I figured they would pick it up just because of the level they've been playing at. I think they would pick up the speed of the game pretty quickly. Did I think they'd be scoring 4 of our goals in the first 2 games? Probably not, but that's a good surprise, for sure.
Did you try and make sure that your team had a head start on fitness, as you said, in order to implement a new system?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Did you make sure that the team was ahead on their fitness before the season, so a new system would be easier?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think it's so much the new system as in we tell our players, if you come into preseason thinking we're going to get you fit, it's going to be a miserable experience. You have to be fit when you come in because we don't have time to do that. So, as I said earlier, preseason was really just about getting everybody on the same page because it was something different for all of the players. But they all came in fit, so it really hasn't been an issue for us.
You mentioned last season was disappointing primarily because of the way the last couple of weeks went. What do you guys, looking back on it, what do you feel like kept you from getting right where you wanted to be?
Honestly, a bounce of the ball here or there that went our way earlier that didn't go our way later in the year. I mean, that really was what it came down to. I think about the Texas game, we won 1-0. The Baylor game, we won 1-0 on 2 unbelievable goals. Ashley Williams against Texas, Liana against Baylor. We lose to Texas Tech at home 1-0. Kid scores an unbelievable goal that played 2 minutes in the entire game. Their coach said to me afterwards, I put that kid in because the other kid was gassed. He never plays. She'll never hit that shot in her entire life again. I mean, it's an unlucky bounce, West Virginia, we give up a goal, and we thought we were very well matched with them. We gave up a goal in the first 5 minutes off a corner. And then we're chasing the game. We have to change our formation late to catch up. They score on a breakaway. So, in the Big 12, the difference between winning and losing is so small. I'm sure in the other sports it's no different. So it comes down to individual plays at key moments in the game. You either make one or you don't, or you allow them to make one or you don't. And that really is what it comes down to. I think we have to control the things that we can control as a staff and as players. We try to put them in those scenarios every day in training. So when that scenario comes up in a game, they've been there, done it. I think last year we obviously had more of those go our way than not. This year we just got to make sure we do more of the small things correctly, more consistently. So when those things do come up, we don't give up a goal on the corner kick in the first 5 minutes against West Virginia. Maybe that's a different result. The Texas Tech goal was also off of a set piece. Ball got knocked down, kid hit a half volley. So, set pieces, I think, in those 2 games especially, really made the difference between us winning a conference and not winning a conference, defending set pieces. So, again, there's details. We have to pay attention to those small details, and we try to do that every day. They get sick of me saying the word details. And actually, when I don't take care of a detail, they remind me of that. So.
Coach, you have some really, really talented attacking players up front. Williams, Salazar, Hagan, Roberts. With that talent up front, how much of an impact do you expect the back 4 to make in attack and goal scoring?
Well, the way that we're playing, last year our marking back, so Kayla Morrison played in the back out wide last year. She's in the middle now, but she played out wide. O'Reilly played out wide. Morgan Williams, Haley Yearout, who was a senior. Those guys were all out wide backs, and they got forward a lot all the way into the attack. They're doing that again this year, but they're not doing it as much because of our formation. We now have players that can play wide in front of them. So we're still looking for them to get forward, just not as often. So I would say that in terms of their involvement in the attack won't be as much, but it'll be a little bit more selective when we do get them in there. And we've kind of worked on that with them a little bit.
The team was able to score a lot of goals pretty early in games last year, especially early on in the season. Do you think with the experience of that front line, do you think that'll help relieve a little bit of pressure from that back line early on in the season?
We hope so. Yeah, we hope so. Yeah, we were able to jump on teams pretty quickly last year, which I think is obviously you want to come out of the gates, quick and catch people while they're still in a warm-up mode, so to speak. But I think that's more just a mentality in terms of our team that when the game starts, the same thing with our motto this year, across the line. Once we walk across the white line, it's game time. You mentally got to make sure that you're ready to go. We do the same thing in practice. We warm up off the field. We walk across the line onto the field. It's practice time. So the other day in practice, I made him leave the field because mentally we just weren't in the zone. So I told him to leave and then walk back on the field, and it was much better after that. So we've got to get ourselves into that mental focus zone, so to speak, right from the beginning, but for 90 minutes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys being here.